As the video shows, it began with a verbal argument and quickly escalated. The woman killed shot with a gun that she pulled out and aimed at the man, who then grabbed it from her and fired it at her. Tonight, the DA is downgrading charges that were just filed against the shooter. Action News reporter Annie McCormick live in Center City tonight with all the latest. Annie.
Yeah, Brian, in light of this new video that you're about to see portions of, the district attorney announced today that he is downgrading the suspect's most serious charge of murder to voluntary manslaughter. New video shows the final moments of 33-year-old Lauren Jardine. Watch as a disagreement between Jardine and the suspect escalates. Jardine pulls a gun. Then it appears the suspect pulled a screwdriver. The two tussle. Then the suspect wrestles Jardine's gun away. We stopped the video before the shooting. Police say he shot her multiple times. Additional video taken by someone in a nearby building also shows part of the crime. Police arrested and charged John Kelly. This all unfolded just before 6 p.m. Friday at busy 12th and Chestnut Street. Jardine's family shared these photos with Action News. Just last year, she spoke at a city event for adult education and family literacy. There, she talked about working to earn her GED after her grandmother passed, saying, quote, "Now more than ever, I'm sincere and dedicated to earning my GED for both her and me, so one day I can start my own business." According to 6ABC's data team, of all the shootings across Philadelphia over the last 12 months, less than 5% of the victims were shot in the 9th District, which covers Center City. Some nearby residents tell Action News the suspect has been known to cause problems at this intersection. This man described the suspect's behavior on the day of the crime.
When I was walking to the gym, he was screaming down the street.
Now, Brian, the video also shows another woman trying to stop Kelly. Police believe that that was Kelly's girlfriend, and what started all of this was that Jardine tried to stop a fight between the couple. For now, reporting live in Center City, Annie McCormick, Channel 6, Action News.
Hey, yo, what up, my 1751 family? I'd like to thank you all for tuning in, man. For those of you who have already smashed and subscribed, I'd like to take my hat off to y'all, man. Y'all support is very much appreciated. And for those of you who have yet to smash and subscribe, go on over and do yourself a favor, man. Smash and subscribe, and don't forget to hit the bell notification while you at it, so you'll be amongst the first to get these videos as I upload. Anyway, getting into it, man. Today we're gonna be speaking on a case which I know a lot of you may be familiar with, right? You have a woman, right? She's walking downtown Philadelphia, I believe to be 12th Street or 13th Street, somewhere down there in Center City. Middle-aged black woman, and she's walking, and she noticed a domestic dispute, between which it is believed to be two homeless people, right? But as she encountered these people, she indulged herself into business. She concerned herself, and injected herself into business that had nothing to do with her, right? And as a result, the ending, it turned out tragic for her. God bless her soul. She is amongst the deceased now. It's never a good thing when someone lose their life at the hands of another, right? But we have to understand, man. We have to mind our business. We have to learn how to mind our business. Sometimes, man, you see things and it's not right, or you have a scenario playing out in your mind that you think you understand what's going on, but truly you have no idea. That's why when I see others in having domestic disputes, I don't concern myself, because 9 times out of 10, you're going to get in between these people, and you're liable to be the one that gets hurt, right? And those same two people that you involve yourself in trying to de-escalate their situation, those same people will likely be back together. They'll likely be back together. You know, whether you're unalived or, you know, hospitalized, 9 times out of 10, domestic relationships, they often get back together, right? And it's not the first time. It's not their first rodeo. You know, this type of thing happens on a regular, man. So this woman, middle-aged black woman, she's walking, and I'm guessing because she had a firearm in her possession, in her bag. A lot of times when people have a firearm, they they approach situations that they may not have approached had they not had that firearm, right? And I believe that was the case here with this woman. As you can see in this video, the man, you know, the accused suspect, the man who unalived this woman, as you can see in this video, he's sitting there on a chair, back against the wall, sitting on a chair. And he's doing something on his lap, right? Sorry about the noise, y'all. But anyway, the guy is sitting in a chair. I'm guessing this is after the dispute between him and his significant other, right? But you can see in the video, this woman, she walks by and she says something to this man. And which it looks like, it seems to me that the man wasn't really trying to indulge in any type of conflict with this woman. He was sitting there and he almost gave off the aura like, leave me alone, lady. You know what I mean? Or he might have said a few words, but it didn't seem to be anything harmful, you know? But as you can see, she wasn't able to restrain herself enough to just keep on moving. She had to double back and just step in. She stepped in. She got into that man's personal space, right? Because, like I said, when you have a gun in your possession, you feel invincible. You feel untouchable. You feel unharmable. You know, you feel like you got the power. You feel like you got the power, man, to take somebody up off this earth, right? But you couldn't be any farther from the truth, you know? And as you can see, man, with this situation here, after this lady stepped in, they begin to wrestle and scuffle with each other. And some point during that scuffle, the lady falls to the ground. She falls to the ground. And while she's on the ground, it seems that she went into her bag and she pulled the pistol out of her bag. And this man also, I'm guessing, I'm not sure, 100% sure, but when this man, it looks like when this man seen the firearm, he pulled his knife out from wherever he had his knife concealed at. He pulled his knife out, and she got the gun out of her bag, and he noticed the gun being drawn, pointed at him. He overpowered this woman and took the firearm from her. And in the midst of all of this, the man's girlfriend or significant other, the one who he was having a domestic dispute with in public, she also attempted to stop the scuffle between this man and this woman. So there was 3 people involved, you know. His woman also tried to de-escalate and break up the scuffle between this man and this woman with the gun. But, you know, she tried to no avail, right? But as you can see, like I said, man, he wrestled this gun out of her hand and he pumped a few shots into this woman as she lay on the ground. You know, as she lay on the ground, he pumped a few shots into this woman, unaliving her on the spot, man. Now they say she died at the hospital, but what it looked like to me, man, is that he gave her a few, and didn't look like he gave her a headshot. It looked like he gave her a fatality. He finished her off, you know. And it was a horrible sight to see, man. It's a horrible sight, you know. It's it's just always a horrible outcome, man, when you when you indulge in other people's business that you have no business being in. And this happens a lot, man. It happens a lot. This is not a one-off. This happens a lot, man. And then come to find out, after investigating, come to find out that this woman wasn't even licensed to carry a firearm. The firearm that she possessed was a stolen firearm, believed to be stolen out of someone's car. A stolen firearm. So that's a whole nother story, man, within this tragedy, right? But it was just revealed that this man, John Kelly, the one who murdered this woman, had his charges dropped by the DA, by the district attorney. His charges was dropped from murder to manslaughter. And the argument around this whole situation was, is this self-defense? Was this man defending his own life by pulling that trigger on this woman? And at first, when I heard somebody voice their opinion on whether they think that this man was justified in killing this woman, at first I said, maybe so, because she had the gun, and who knows what else she had in that bag. But at the same time, as I analyzed this scuffle a little farther, I had to change my perspective on the whole situation. This man, John Kelly, he was in no danger, man. Once he wrestled that gun out of this woman's hand, he pumped a few shots into her. He backed up and he stepped in again and pumped another shot into her. That was slaughter, man. That was not self-defense. So the fact that the district attorney is dropping the murder charge, and charging this man with manslaughter. Manslaughter is like, you choke somebody out, you stab somebody, shit like that, man. You didn't mean to kill this person, shit like that, right? What this man did was execution. He executed this woman, man. There is no justification for the way he slaughtered that woman, man. And I stand firm on my perspective. He was not justified in this killing, man. But obviously the district attorney thinks that this man was probably in some way, shape, or form in self-defense. Defended his own life by shooting this woman. Otherwise, they wouldn't have dropped his charges to manslaughter. Somebody in the justice system is attempting to justify this in some way, shape, or form. But as this thing go to trial, man, we're gonna be following this, and I'm quite sure this is gonna be a very interesting trial, man, because there are a few different components to the situation, and there are gonna be many different perspectives, many different nuances to this, this tragedy, man. But as of right now, man, from what I can see, this man was in no danger. Once he wrestled that gun out of her hand, he already lowered the threat to nearly no threat at all. She was no threat. She was already on the ground. It was really nothing. This woman, this woman wasn't liable to be a danger to this man in no way, shape, or form. But he took it upon himself. And that should have also been premeditated. But I understand this is not going to be, obviously, it's already, like I said, charge has been dropped. So he's not going to get first degree murder or premeditated murder. Because for those of you who know, premeditated is, like when you you leave and you drive around the corner to the house and get your gun and you come back and you slaughter somebody, right? Meaning you had the time to think, should I do this? Is it worth it? And you carried it out anyway. You went and got your weapon and came back. But a lot of times when a person is in a scuffle, you know, and everything is happening spontaneously, you know, it's simultaneously, a lot of times that is not considered, you know, premeditated murder, because everything happened in a nutshell. Everything happened at the scene, you know. No one had time to think. But that's why I said this case is going to be very interesting, because this man, it is proven, it's on camera. This man, he took it upon himself, instead of him walking away with the firearm, he chose to discharge that firearm and pump a few bullets into this woman, man, unaliving her on the scene. What a coward, man. What a coward, man, you know. But anyway, man, we're going to continue to follow the story, man, as they release, you know, as they release new findings and as they investigate everything, you know, pertaining to this situation. We will be we will be staying up to date, and I will be updating y'all, man, with anything that comes across my desk. You know, y'all know how we do it, man. I know I ain't been uploading lately. You know, it's been a lot going on, man, but you know, I promise not to let y'all down, man. So, you know, although I'm not releasing videos every day like I used to, like I said, there's a lot been going on in my life, man, you know, and so it's been kind of slow. I've been kind of slow with the uploads, and I like to apologize to my viewers for that. But we will be getting back. We will be back in action really soon, man. Real soon. We'll be back to uploading daily. You know, there's a lot that we got to catch up on with a lot of different situations that we reviewed in the past. But you know, things happen, life happens, and sometimes things get slowed down and put on the back burner. But we will definitely be back on, you know, back on course in a few. But anyway, man, it's your boy, Mr. 1751, bringing you another 1751 review. And until next time, if you enjoy watching videos like these, make sure that you like, comment, subscribe. Help your boy get into the algorithm so that I can continue to bring you more videos just like the one you just watched. Anyway, until next time, y'all stay up.
Video appears to show 3 people involved. It looks as if one woman is trying to get a man off of another woman. Moments later in that same video, it shows the man point a gun at the woman on the ground. Oh my